Shalom. I want to start off by saying Kal Halal Imla, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth and who rule well. Peace and citations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Kotas Upsayan from the GMS Holland branch, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai with another lesson, with another video, and Lord willing, this video is edifying. So in this lesson, I want to go into Revelation 9, verse 15 on down. And it reads, "And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year." So this sentence, this verse, that they were prepared for an hour, a day, and a month and a year, means that they were prepared for a specific time period. They were preparing themselves, and that time period only the Most High knows. But they were set. They have their things that they have to prepare for a set period of time. And what they are preparing for is to, as the scriptures goes on to say, for to slay the third part of men. And we're going to go into what the third part of man is. You see? What the destruction that they're going to bring. That is this. Revelation 18, verse 17. And it reads, "For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every ship master, and all the company in ships, and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off." Because in 1 hour, let me see. In 1 hour, Babylon the Great, which is America, is going to be judged, man. They're going to be burnt up, just like in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah. Let me see. Bear with me for a second. Verse 10. This is Revelations 18, verse 10. "Standing afar off for the fear of the torment, saying," let me start at 9. "And the kings of the earth who had committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, which that her is America," the harlot that sits on the beast, the mother of abominations, "shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of the torment." Yeah, so these kings and sailors and people that did business with America, they're going to stand afar off because they don't want none of that destruction that America's going to get, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. They're going to look at the destruction from a distance, saying, "Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come." You see? So this is what the angels are preparing for, to bring slaughter to a third of man, which that third of man represents the wicked here upon earth. You see? Because you have 3 parts of men. Let's go to the book of Genesis. In Genesis 4, verse 25. And Genesis 4 and 25 and 26 is speaking about the righteous. So you have 3 parts of men. You have the righteous, you have the wicked, and you have the seed of men. The seed of the righteous, the seed of the wicked, and the seed of the seed of men. So this is the seed of the righteous. Genesis 4, verse 25. "And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For the Most High said, She had appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Most High." So, you see, This out of Adam and out of Seth, and actually Abel was slain, so the Most High replaced Abel with Seth. Because if you go into that word Seth, Seth, which is compensation. So the Most High compensated for the loss of Abel, you know. So after Seth, then you had Enos, and then the men started to call upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because at that time, actually, it was the name Yahweh, because Yahushai he wasn't on the scene back then. So they started to call on the name Yahweh. Okay, so now that's the seed of the righteous. But the seed of the wicked, let me see, because Cain slew Abel, right? And the Most High asked Abel, where is your brother Cain? This is Genesis 4, verse 9. And the Most High said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother cried out unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which had opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. So this is actually a good point to point out in Isaiah, book of Isaiah 34. It speaks on the people of my curse, which the Most High has a cursed people. He has some people that had he blessed and some people had he cursed. He blessed the nation of Israel. He put them close to himself. And Salakia. Some had he blessed, and the blessed ones are Ishmaelites. They have the good parts of the world. And some have he sanctified, which the word sanctified goes into making clean and brought near to himself. And the ones that he sanctified and brought near to himself are the Israelites. And then some had he cursed, and the curse came since in the time of Cain, because Esau is the nation of his curse, Idumea. Let me see. For my soul, yeah, this is it. This is Isaiah 34, verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, which means the sword of the Most High, like we just read, is the destruction that is going to come in 1 hour, which are these ICBM missiles, the nuclear fire. That's the sword of the Most High, shall be bathed in heaven, which the heaven represents the rulership, the ruling class people, which are the Edomites right now. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and Idumea is a Greek way of saying Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. And like we just read in Genesis, he cursed Cain, because he had that curse of leprosy also, so that people wouldn't touch him. You see, so he's being saved for the judgment day, actually, because if people would have seen albino back in the day, they would have killed him. They're like, everybody was brown, but you have this white speck among us. So people would be scared of him. They would think it was a disease or whatnot. But the Most High cursed him, and that was actually his protection also. So going back to Genesis 4, verse 11 again. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother both from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Let me read on. This is Genesis 4 and 13. And Cain said unto the Most High, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out of this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. Like I was going into, they would see him and then they would be the first to jump him. And Yahweh said unto him, Therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any findeth him shall kill him. So that mark of Cain, let me rephrase myself, the mark of Cain, that is the leprosy, and the curse that the Most High put upon him is the curse that the Most High cursed him. He cursed him from the earth, that the earth would spew him out. He would be a walking fugitive. Because what does a fugitive and a vagabond go into? That they constantly roam all over the earth. They're restless, and that they are pillaging and plundering everywhere they can. You see, and that's the spirit of Esau. So the mark of Cain, that is the leprosy, and the curse is that he would he would, because if you go into that word Cain is spear, which also, if loosely translated, goes to a weapon and goes to the sword. Like how Esau is the sword. He has the blessing of the sword nowadays. Esau is the Most High sword, here upon earth. So now, the Most High, he cursed Cain, and that curse of Cain came onto the Edomites. And he also put a mark on Cain, and that mark of Cain came on the Edomites also, you see? So that's how you see that the Most High, he is sparing this man until the judgment day, you see? Like it's written in Revelation, that in 1 hour he's going to destroy this man and this man's kingdom. So verse 16, and Cain went out from the presence of the Most High and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. So here the rest goes on in his lineage, his seed after him, after Cain. So these are the seed of the wicked. These are the seed, that 1/3 that is going to be destroyed. You see, those are preserved. The seed line, this bloodline is preserved until the judgment day of the Most High. You see, so these people, they're coming back in the reincarnation, and the Most High is going to judge them in the end day. You see. So now you have the seed of the righteous, which is Genesis 4:25 and 26. Here you have the seed of the wicked, which is from Genesis 4:17 until 24. But then you also have the seed of men, which is the rest actually, which is in, let me see. Genesis 6:2. Then you have the seed of the righteous, the ones that were calling on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They started to see that the daughters of the seed of men, the normal people, that they were, kind of looking good. So it says Genesis 6:2. Let me start at 1. Genesis 6:1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of the Most High, the ones that were calling on Yahweh, the name of the Most High, the righteous seed, they saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. You see? So they started to mingle the holy seed with these normal people, So now, you know that there were 3 parts. You had the seed of the righteous, the seed of the wicked, and you have the seed of men. So going back to Revelation 9, verse 15 again. Revelation 9, verse 15. And the 4 angels were loosed which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year for to slay the third part of men, which the third part of men is Esau, the wicked, and everything that he established, the NATO, the EU, America, all these things are going to be destroyed from the Most High. And how? Verse 16, and the number of the army of the horses, so like of the horsemen, were 200,000, which means 200 million missiles are going to be shot at America. And I heard the number of them. So you're going to think like 200 million missiles. That also goes into the warheads, because one missile has multiple warheads. So when they're going to shoot their missiles, they're going to detach, and they're going to be deploying multiple miniature missiles, in those warheads. Let me see. Yeah, so basically, let me read through it. This is Revelation 9:17. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, which the horses represents the missiles, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and jacinth, and brimstone. And the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire, and smoke, and brimstones. You see, so that's what John the Revelator saw. He saw something flying in the air, and he described it as a horse flying, and he described the fire and the glittering that he saw as the brimstone, because when it dropped, he saw fire. So he explained that it had breastplates of fire and jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as heads of lions. Why? Because like I was just saying, the head of the missile is called a warhead, and that's where the power is. You see, verse 18, by these three was the third part of man killed, which the third part of man is the wicked, like we just went through. By the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth, in the head, and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Yeah, the tails, that's what you saw. That was the bottom part and the trail. You see, the bottom part of the missile and the trail that it left behind, which is the smoke. It looked like a tail of a serpent. You see, and that's what also is used to propel the missile. So that's also where his power lies, in the tail. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see, nor hear, nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. See, so the rest that were left behind, they still didn't repent. They still went in their ways, because Esau always has these post-apocalyptic movies where you see the world after a nuclear fallout, after a nuclear war, after nuclear bombs. You see, so after that, still people were trying to be wicked. So what is going to happen? The Most High, he is going to send forth his hunters, to hunt all of these men that are still set in their ways, the ones that are hiding in caves, Salakia, and in these bunkers, these underwater bunkers and these space stations, so that you won't repent, right? So you're going to be captured, you're going to be made a slave, you see? So yeah, man, I hope this video is edifying, and I want to say Kal Halal Yamla Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rika Kodash Shalom Akim.